This is important to share to your friends with children that has access to Roblox. From a personal perspective, I have tried warning my friends and family regarding the predator problems within the platform, but it has fell on deaf ears, so this is important. This is just an outline of what is happening now. And from a personal perspective, I hope Roblox gets absolutely obliterated for their pure greed over looking after their young users. Roblox, the world's largest user-generated gaming platform, finds itself at the heart of a legal and regulatory maelstrom that is fundamentally reshaping both its business and the broader landscape of online child safety. As of August 15, 2025, the scope and intensity of scrutiny faced by Roblox have reached unprecedented levels, marking a critical juncture for the company and the millions of families who rely on its promise of a safe, creative space for children and teens. The most recent flashpoint emerged on August 14th, when the Attorney General of Louisiana filed a sweeping lawsuit against Roblox Corporation, accusing the platform of failing to protect children from exploitation and predatory contact. The suit details an alarming pattern: predators allegedly using voice-altering technology to masquerade as minors, evading Roblox's moderation systems to initiate grooming conversations. The Attorney General's complaint asserts that Roblox's age assurance, parental consent mechanisms, and moderation protocols are not just insufficient, they are misleadingly presented as robust in marketing materials, potentially lulling parents into a false sense of security. What makes a state attorney general's lawsuit particularly impactful is its basis in consumer protection law, which goes beyond seeking monetary damages. Instead, it can demand substantive changes to product design and operational procedures. Louisiana's action is already prompting speculation about a domino effect. As other states observe the lawsuit's progress, the potential for coordinated or copycat litigation grows, amplifying risk and regulatory pressure on Roblox. Parallel to this governmental action, a wave of private lawsuits is surging from families across the United States. These cases go beyond the heartbreaking individual incidents of grooming, exploitation, and, in several high-profile instances, abduction, after initial contact on Roblox. Plaintiffs are strategically centering their claims on the platform's design decisions, the adequacy of age verification tools, default settings that facilitate contact between minors and strangers, and the migration of risky interactions to other platforms after originating on Roblox. This shift in legal theory, away from simply blaming third-party content and towards scrutinizing Roblox's own architecture and policies, means that these cases are more likely to survive early dismissal. The traditional shield of Section 230, which often protects platforms from liability for user-generated content, offers less protection when the alleged negligence is rooted in the platform's own design and risk management choices. Adding to the legal firestorm is a developing federal case in California, centered around so-called Robux casinos. In this suit, plaintiffs allege that third-party websites enabled minors to gamble Roblox's virtual currency, Robux, in violation of consumer protection and negligence standards. While some of the more sweeping claims, such as fraud and racketeering, were trimmed by the judge, the core allegations of negligence and certain state law violations have survived. This keeps discovery alive and underscores a growing trend. Courts and regulators are increasingly willing to entertain the argument that platforms like Roblox have a duty of care, not only to police user content, but to proactively design systems that anticipate and mitigate foreseeable risks. But the risk map for Roblox is not confined to the United States. In recent months, country-level access blocks have proliferated, signaling a new phase of global regulatory fragmentation. Turkey moved to block Roblox in 2004, citing unresolved child abuse concerns. Just this week, Qatar announced similar restrictions. These actions raise the operational costs of compliance, necessitating local offices, tailored moderation teams, and rigorous age checks, and set a precedent that may embolden other governments to follow suit. For Roblox, the specter of cascading restrictions looms large, threatening both revenue and reputation in key international markets. Meanwhile, in Europe, the regulatory bar has been raised by two landmark statutes: the United Kingdom's Online Safety Act, OSA, and the European Union's Digital Services Act, DSA. The OSA, in force since July 25, 2025, imposes stringent duties on platforms likely to be accessed by children. Roblox, and any similar service, must now complete documented children's risk assessments, maintain comprehensive records, and implement highly effective age assurance and risk mitigation measures. Ofcom, the UK's digital regulator, has signaled its readiness to enforce these rules, marking a shift from promises and marketing claims to auditable, evidence-based compliance. The EU's Digital Services Act adds another layer of accountability, requiring large platforms like Roblox to file regular transparency reports, provide clear statements for moderation decisions, and meet rigorous disclosure and data access obligations. The penalties for non-compliance are significant, and the pressure to demonstrate real-world efficacy, rather than theoretical safeguards, has never been greater. Against this tightening regulatory backdrop, Roblox has moved to reinforce its safety credentials. In late 2024, the company implemented new restrictions on direct messaging for users under 13, removing certain communication pathways by default and expanding remote parental controls. This was coupled with age-based content gating, designed to minimize the exposure of younger users to inappropriate material. In mid-2025, Roblox introduced a new system called Trusted Connections. Teens who pass age estimation via video selfie or government-issued ID verification are permitted more permissive chats, but only with known contacts and under continued monitoring for harmful content. These measures reflect a shift toward more granular, risk-based controls as regulators demand not just broad protections, but specific, enforceable safeguards. Perhaps most notably, in August 2025, Roblox open-sourced its AI moderation system, Sentinel. This advanced tool is designed to detect subtle grooming patterns within chat interactions, flagging potentially predatory behavior before it escalates. Roblox reports that Sentinel contributed to around 1,200 reports to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children in the first half of 2025 by making Sentinel's code publicly available. Roblox aims to build trust and collaborate with external experts, though critics argue that open sourcing alone cannot substitute for robust, transparent enforcement. Despite these moves, controversy continues to swirl. Roblox's decision to ban and issue a cease and desist order to a YouTuber known as Schlep, who conducted predator sting operations on the platform, has ignited fierce debate. Roblox contends that such vigilante tactics risk mimicking predator behaviors and introducing new dangers, while critics claim the company is silencing whistleblowers who are exposing real safety gaps. This dispute has only increased public and regulatory scrutiny on Roblox's safety posture, with some arguing that independent actors have a crucial role in holding platforms accountable. From an investor perspective, the Louisiana lawsuit and the intensifying legal environment have weighed heavily on sentiment. Earlier this year, a separate SEC investigation rattled stakeholders, but was quietly closed in May, according to a Bloomberg Law report obtained via FOIA. While this removes one regulatory cloud, it leaves the central questions of child safety and ongoing compliance unresolved. At the heart of Roblox's risk thesis is a major shift. Plaintiffs and regulators are focusing less on what users do and more on what the platform itself has designed, enabled, and known. Design-based negligence claims represent a new front line, where the protections traditionally offered by Section 230 are less effective, and where discovery can yield sensitive internal documentation on risk management, product decisions, and response protocols. As Roblox navigates this landscape, several key developments bear close watching. Will other state attorneys general coordinate or file parallel consumer protection actions? How will discovery milestones in the Roblox gambling and family negligence suits shape the narrative and potential settlements? Will Ofcom initiate its first enforcement actions under the UK's Online Safety Act? And will the EU's Digital Services Act lead to specific penalties or escalated demands around youth safety? Finally, can Roblox negotiate re-entry into blocked markets like Turkey and Qatar, perhaps through local compliance commitments and enhanced safety guarantees for parents, regulators, investors, and the millions of young users who call Roblox home? The coming months represent a critical test, not only of Roblox's technological and legal acumen, but of the broader capacity of online platforms to adapt, evolve, and safeguard the next generation in an ever-changing digital world.